welcome to the channel. Welcome to another movie review. Tonight we're looking at Arrow Video releasing of MS-45, which is a exploitation revenge movie, and it was directed by Abel Ferrara. Yeah. I'm trying to see if it's got a year on this of release, which I can't see. But anyway, we're going to be looking at this tonight. So before we have a look at the anything, let's see what the release looks like. So here we are, guys. Here is the physical release of MS-45, released on Arrow Video. It's in a nice limited edition, collector's edition. So we take off the cellophane. I try to save these releases for these moments for my videos. I'll just get rid of the wrapper. It's got a lovely cover, really nice. Really like it. Now we've got to figure out how it comes out. It confused me for a little bit because the top is in the black and then the bottom is in the red. But it's got the same cover, a different back though, which is very cool. I always like things like that. So we'll take out the content. Nice hardback box. So it comes with a large booklet going into all deep stories about the films and influences and films that are influenced by this film. Great photograph there. And it ends with the production credits and about this presentation. It's got all the information about the restoration of this film, including some sort of posters and some nice photographs throughout. Really nice booklet. It comes with a large poster, double-sided, with the new artwork, as you can see, and in an original poster. It will never happen again. Really nice poster. And here's the release. This is the Blu-ray release. I believe it does have a 4K release. The disc has reversible artwork of the original, so we're going to turn that around and have the original artwork, just because we have two of the new artwork on the hardback box and on the slipcase, so it's just nice to have a little variant in there. Giving it that, which is nice. Picture for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning. Poster, booklet, all live within the nice box. Which slips within the slipcase, going from the top. And there it is. That's the physical release of MS-45. So as you can see, it's a lovely release there from Arrow. It's another one of their great kind of collector's editions. So it's really cool to have this in my collection. But before we get on about the film, the story, etc., let's see if it has any special features. So here we are at the main menu for MS45. Our special features, we have audio commentary from Alexandra Helen Nicholas about the Rape Revenge films. Interviews, we have interview of Abel Ferreira, who's the director, composer Joe Diella and creative consultant Jack McIntyre. The Voice of Violence, a featurette with film critic BJ Colagigo for Arrow Video in 2025. Where Dreams Went to Die, for a featurette with film critic Kate Ellinger. Zoe X0, 2004 short film by Robert Lund. Zoe Rising, 2008 short film looking back at a childhood screenwriter. Theatrical trailer and image gallery, and that is the special features on MS45. So there is a number of special features on there, nothing major jumping out at me to grab to watch, but at least there is something on there. So let's get to the story. So this film is about a young girl called Thana, who's played by Zoe, is it Tamalis, who's stunning, and she plays this sort of mute girl that works at this sort of fashion sort of fabric place as sort of like a worker there, does all the ironing and helping sewing buttons on all these outfits, and she works there with some of her sort of friends that sort of work there called, well, there's Laurie played by Darlene Stato, Carol played by Helen Macara, and Pamela played by Nike Zuckmanluko. It's a strange name, but that is her name. And they're led by, I think, the guy that runs the place is Albert, played by Albert Sinkies. Anyway, they all work with her at this place, and one day they finish work and they go off home, but Thana goes on her own way, and she gets pulled into an alley and gets raped very violently by this guy. And while this is going on in her house, there's a burglar in there, and the burglar is played by Peter Yellen, and he is burgling her flat while she's out, so she's not having a good day. So she gets raped really sort of bad and graphically, and you see her get back home, and she's all sort of in shock. And while she's sitting there trying to cope with what's gone on, the burglar sort of makes himself known and got a gun, and he rapes her too. So she gets raped twice in one day, along the lines of "I spit on your grave" sort of thing. This film has elements of all these horror films that are in this sort of film. And whilst he's sort of like raping her, he drops his gun and she hits him with like this object and knocks him out. And then she picks up her iron and then she sort of kills him. She kills him with his iron. And again, she's sort of like trying to recover what's going on. Eventually, she drags his body into the bathroom, and then she goes ahead and cuts up his body into bits and puts all these bits into black bags over days, and she shoves all these black bags in her fridge. And then she goes out day by day with one black bag at a time, dumping them all over the city. And all this crazy thing on. She's got this annoying neighbour. I think her name's Mrs. Sassoon, played by Edita Sherman. I'm sure that's her. And she's really irritating. She gets in her face all the time. But then Thana realises she's got the gun that was left by the killer. And that's all I'm really going to tell you, because I don't want to spoil any of the sort of plot what goes on in the film. Let's get to the characters. Well, Thana's the only character that really matters in this film. She plays the role incredibly well and very convincing. As her character progresses, you kind of come across how she's looking out on the world, because she can't communicate with anyone because she's got this disability of not being able to speak. She sees things for what they are, and this whole film sort of makes all men look like scumbags, which is a kind of thing, and you see it through her eyes to the final verdict. It's an essential watch. It's a 10 out of 10. Now, I've seen this film years and years ago, and I've not seen it for such a long time, and I forgot how incredible it was. It's such a great film. It's got a mixture of elements of so many different films. I Spit on Your Grave, all horror films, The Maniac, Taxi Driver, all these sort of Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, all these kind of horror films, sort of realistic horror films, all come together in this wonderful rape revenge film, horror film, and it plays that really well. Now, it's just such a good film, guys. I highly recommend it. It's not as extreme as your Video Nasty sort of revenge films like I Spit on Your Grave, Last House on the Left. All these elements come into it's along those sort of lines. It's that type of film, but it's not as extreme as that. But it's got a heavy body count in the film. You lose track. It's it's wonderful. The pluses of this edition, the Blu-ray that I have, it looks really nice. This is a 1981 film, but I believe it's supposed to look like a 70s kind of film, because it does come across like a 70s film, and it's absolutely amazing. And it's got that sort of 70s look to it, and it's got that grain. It looks like Taxi Driver. It's because it's based in sort of like that time and era of New York, and it's just full of pimps, no good people on the street, men trying on every woman that goes past and sort of thing. And I think this is the moral sort of statement of this film, is to make men look like scumbags, and then they're only there to use women as these sort of objects until one day one of them has enough. It's incredible. Such an amazing film. I highly recommend it. MS-45, 10 out of 10, or Ms-45, whichever you want to call it. 10 out of 10. If you've seen it, let me know down below what you think of the film. It's a great film, and this is a great release from Arrow. My only negative of the film, it's too short. It's an hour and 21 minutes. I think I would have liked it to have been a bit longer. I just wanted this to go on and on and on. And Zoe Tamales has this such screen presence. She's just like, you can't take your eyes off her. You know, she's a beautiful looking woman, but she just got this sort of like control of the screen, and you want her to be in every scene because she's so good at what she does. It's really cool. It's such a great film, guys. I really recommend it, so check it out. And check out some horror channels for me. Check out Grumpy Andrew's Horror House, Horror Fanatic, Horror Geek, Horror Hands, Man v Film, The Maniac, Sammy G's World of Cinema. And a massive shout out to my lad. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.